So in order to disable registration in, and then the name of your software, so iOS, you must modify a core file currently to add a piece of code to disable it. The code, extract, and instructions are, and then you can just come back to that when you've got some actual instructions for disabling registration. And depending whatever software you're using, that could be something you have to get them to do, or get JFusion to do it automatically. Cookie domain is kind of straightforward. This is just your site again. So let's check. This doesn't have a label either. Not many of them actually have labels, so description. Is once again, it's similar to the name, but it's in capital letters just to indicate that JFusion wants to load some data into that element. Whoops. Then the cookie path is obviously like the source path, except obviously just for cookies, which is what you use to authenticate people on websites. So and the default for that is just a single / just to indicate that maybe the site's the software's at the root of the site. And then description, cookie path, the cookie key. Most software implement a key, so for each software that's hosted on a person's site, there'll be a password to be used across the whole software that's encrypted and is unique to that software and that site, and it'll be used to be combined with the cookies, so that if anybody tries any kind of other site to generate cookies or try modifying or hacking cookies themselves, they won't be able to create a cookie without that key, which stops them from hacking our site. So put size equals 20 again. So for description, we're just going to put needed or will not work. Oh wait, that's the default, sorry. So in the text field, people will be able to see that. And then the description is once again the kind of the same as the name but uppercase. Then there's a JFusion box, and this basically these JFusion boxes, you can see there's several of them in this XML file. These basically, if I just go to configure, stupid password thing. If I go to configure a plugin, the JFusion boxes are the actual boxes you see here. So you can see plugin general details as a box, database options as a box, user options as a box, and dual login curl options as a box. So there's 4 boxes altogether. Just see by the styling and the general how each is contained in its own relevant container kind of thing. So 1, 2, 3, and possibly don't need the 4th one because it'll be separate anyway since we've already mentioned 3. And these on the label you can tell that it matches up. So that's the purpose for JFusion box. So in this one I'm just going to put, since all the other parameters underneath this JFusion box are database related, I'm going to use a label of database, in all capitals, database options. And leave it as that. And then database type, actually just copy this. All these database fields are 20 characters long, so just add that in. And again, these don't have labels, so just cut them out. The labels mainly just for the JFusion boxes. And in the description, just do a capitalized version of the name. So for the database password one, there's something we do change for the type, which is password, because obviously we need to keep this secret, so that if anybody manages to get to a configuration page, we can still keep the password basically where it shows up like asterisks, so like that, so you can't actually view the password. And still 20 size, and the name's the same, so move the label. Then the prefix is 20 characters again. Move the label. And names, the description is the same as the name, so database, prefix. Then the char set, this is the basically the language you're sticking to. So UTF-8 means you can, any kind of text you type, it can be of any language of any character, and just best practice using UTF-8. So just in case of the character that maybe isn't in American English or kind of British typing, any kind of unusual character in there won't break the plugin. So the default is UTF-8. The only difference in not using UTF-8 is a slight speed boost, but it's kind of pointless really, and nobody tends to do a language default anymore. Then there's just another JFusion box. This time I want to put a label of user options, and if you just refer back to that other page I showed you, you can basically just copy them directly from other plugins, just how you see them, but capitalized, because that's how most plugins have been made, just copying another plugin and then just changing some of the parameters. So user group, and this one has a weird type. It's JFusion custom param, and the reason that the type's different on this one is because it's not actually a text field, it's a sorry, I forgot the name of it. You have your own custom way of dealing with it, so you have to tell JFusion that you're going to deal with it in a way which is not directly explainable to the system. So and this one actually has a label. Does that have a label? Yeah. So this is the first JFusion non-JFusion box parameter that actually has a label. And the description should be advanced user group. Just going to save this just in case. So we've just got 7 more parameters to deal with. There's these blank ones, which is just more help text, just about the user group. So just type help text, help text. And these don't have labels, they just have defaults after the type. So just get rid of the label and the description. And then the first help text you want for the default user group description, which you're going to write as default user group and cut it short there because that's how description is written when it's quite a long string of words. So description and auto update description. This is the short form again. And the auto update is obviously checking on the user group, and if they're updated in another software, update them in the software that this plugin applies to as well. And the other user group related stuff is well, general user is updating, so when something's changed in one software, it'll update in the software that this plugin applies to. And this is just creation of a inactive account or a blocked account. So if you want your user to be created as either blocked or inactive, then this is where the parameters would apply. So let's do these last bits. So type for the update activation, the type is list, because this basically creates a drop down of the different variables you can pick from. It does use a label, but it uses an empty label. And description, obviously just same as the name again, but in capitals. Update activation.